The dissection of a flower is a very good way to look carefully at its structure. You can learn the exact shape of all the different petals and the parts of the flower centre. If you understand its shape, you will be able to draw it better. Hi, I'm Penny Brown and I'm a freelance botanical artist and illustrator. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to dissect a flower so you can use it as a reference for your drawings. The first thing I do is I'm going to snip one of the flowers off this stem. We'll put the stem over to one side. And now this poor little flower is going to be taken to pieces. I always feel a little bit cruel when I'm doing this. So this first layer of petals or tepals grow in a circle around the centre of the flower. And I'm going to very carefully peel them off. That's the first petal come off. I'm going to lay it on the piece of black card so you can see it clearly. And let's work around the flower and take the next petal off. Next to its colleague. Work round the flower again and peel the last petal or sepal in this layer off. Then we go to the next circle of tepals. We'll take this one off very carefully. That one nearly snapped. You have to be so delicate when doing this. And if we lay that down in a row, under the first row, you can see what a very different shape it is. You can see how the colours are different, the markings are different, and this is why dissecting a flower will help you learn about the structure. Peel the second one off, and then come round and peel this lower one off. And again, you will see that is different to these ones. And these are all the features that you can bring out in your drawing. We're then left with the centre part of the flower. And we very carefully start to pull off the stamens. This is a mature stamen. It's lost its pollen and it's started to shrink in size. Now we have the second stamen, also a mature one. We'll lay it down here. And I think, oh no, there are. Lay that down. Here's number 5. Again, if you can see between these two, there's a difference in shape and size. This one has obviously shed a little bit of pollen, whereas this one has got all its pollen. You can see it's still full there. So now all we have left is the female part of the plant. So here we have the stigma and the style. I'm going to try and snap it off very gently and put it here at the end, and you can see how much smaller it is than the other parts. So the last thing I'm going to do is cut the ovary to try and show you the seeds. We do that with it laying down on the cardboard, hold it in place, and very gently cut across. And in here are the tiny, tiny little ovules or seeds. Just little white spots. So that's how to do a very simple dissection. And the last thing I want to mention to you is on these very beautiful petals, you can see all these markings. And if you could look, you can see how they're in lines directing down into the centre of the flower. That's because these are honey guides. They're the things that help the pollinators find the flower centres, which is where they get their rewards of the nectar. If you look at flowers, a lot of them will have these honey guides on. Are you ready to put this technique into practice? Then join me in my Domestika course and learn more about botanical drawing.
know.